So we're back.
Yuki, you're back. You've been gone for so long, man. While you were gone, we recorded a bunch of stuff before you left, like 2 months of stuff.
You having class.
Yeah, we recorded, and then I started to run out, and I said, "Oh my goodness!" And then I didn't want to bother you because you were so busy in Japan, moving and stuff like that, helping your sister. So I had a couple of interviews that I set up with Brian Paulin, who's a great independent filmmaker, and then Frank Farrell, Frank Farrell. Sorry, I said it wrong. I said it wrong. He's the Spookies guy who we met at the Mahoning Drive-In. Remember?
Oh.
Yeah, remember we went to the Mahoning Drive-In and did the double feature. We did Spookies and Things, and then Frank joined us on the radio.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
So I interviewed him about Spookies 2, Yuki. Spookies 2, Yuki. Spooky.
Holy, yeah.
But now you're back, so we can get back into the buffet.
Okay, buffet, yes. We love buffet.
So today's topic, I figured since we've been gone for a little while, that we would ease back in with an audience suggestion. And this is actually a great suggestion because you just went through airports and flying. And we've sort of touched upon this topic in other episodes. I think one of our episodes turned into talking about airplanes and things like that. But let's concentrate on it now because you just went through a major travel. I traveled. I have traveled. So we have a lot of stories that we could tell.
Okay.
So this is a suggestion from Ryan Hanley on Instagram, and his Instagram is XX_PNW_XX. Again, that's XX_PNW_XX. Ryan Hanley. Thank you for the suggestion. Airports and flying. Yuki, how was your trip to Japan? Tell me about the airports and the flying.
I took United.
Okay.
Going there was American, then coming back United. And then what happened was, sometimes cheap ticket isn't cheap.
Well, what's cheap in your book? 100?
No, I mean, international flight. I bought the ticket about, what was it? Used to be, oh my God, 700 round trip. Japan, well, that was like a long time ago. Los Angeles, Tokyo, Los Angeles round trip was 700 by Korean Air. That was like 20 years ago.
Now that's the trip from fucking New York to LA. That's 700. Shit.
No, I can't do it. No. In a couple of years ago, that was like 1,300, 1,200, but I found about 800 this trip. And then, as you know, I have to extend the stay because of the, new place wasn't ready to move in for us. So I tried to change the flight. First of all, cheap ticket. You can't change it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right? No even penalty. Well, if I pay penalty, can I change it? Still, you cannot change it.
What's Penelope? What did you say?
Penalty.
Oh. They said fucking Penelope. Fucking, you pay a Penelope. No, penalty. Okay, I see what you're saying. Penalty.
So even the paying, I couldn't change the schedule. So what I did was I threw it away, returning ticket, and then I bought the one-way ticket, Tokyo, New York, with the 700.
Shit. That's a lot, Yuki. What? I mean, that's a lot of fucking money. And how long is the flight from Japan to New York?
Tokyo, New York was 12 hours.
Oh, horrible. So what'd you do? What did you watch?
Well, I tried to see the movie, but 20 years ago, screen was this big.
Yeah.
But now these days, like only tiny monitor in front of your seat.
Yeah.
Right?
That's
And
right.
you can choose a movie from about, I don't know, 50 movies, 100 movies, and including, recent release. And then, so in a way, it's good. But the thing is this, you never see from the beginning to end. You constantly switching it. That's bad.
Wait,
So I was,
you switch in the middle of the flight?
you can choose it. Like, you pause, then see another movie. You never went back to see. I mean, it's just like surfing, movie surfing. This is I found out. When you see the movie in the plane, it's not really you watching the movie. It's totally killing time,
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, that's the
right?
whole point. Yeah, yeah. But what did you
And
watch
then
this time? What's the thing that you put on in your
I
movie
watched
surfing?
Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning.
Tom Cruise would be very upset to hear you watch that on a plane.
And then I saw Jaws, old movie.
All four Jaws?
Yeah,
You had a Jaws marathon? That's
yeah. That well, they had the Jaws and Jaws 2,
oh,
but
you
I
didn't watch 3 and 4.
no, there wasn't 3 or 4, just the Jaws 1 and 2.
That's cool
And then
though. That's cool.
yeah, and then what else? Oh, the Great Escape they had.
Aha. That's a good movie too. I last time I was on an airplane, I watched American Graffiti and it was awesome.
Oh,
It was such a great plane movie because it distracted me. It was like just so fucking good. And then the flight before that, I had multiple flights in a week and I watched all three Star Wars. I watched New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return to the Jedi. Fucking great. Great plane movies.
oh yeah. Well, I saw the Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, you watched that too? That's a hell of a viewing experience, Yuki. You do fucking Jaws 1, Jaws 2, Empire Strikes Back. Holy shit.
They don't. They don't have New Hope and the return. They just have Empire Strikes Back. I said, "What kind of programming is this?" I mean,
They lost the rights.
but the thing is about depend on where you see it. If you see it in the edge, excuse me, people try to go to the restroom, and then those drinking and the meal cut hitting your elbow, and then
Well, I used to be a window person, exclusively window from the time my first flight ever when I was 13 years old, up until uh last year. I was a window person, and all of a sudden, this is why I changed from being a window person to an aisle person, is on one of our flights to where we shoot Joe Bob, I had to pee so fucking bad. I'm talking
right.
about I was gonna piss my pants and it came on all of a sudden. And it's probably because I had drank Starbucks and orange juice and all the stuff in the morning. And it was about an hour into a 4 hour flight, and the bar cart was coming down the aisle, and I knew it was going to trap me in. But there was a woman in the aisle seat sleeping. I mean, dead asleep. She was like like snoring like that. And I was panicking. I'm like, I'm gonna piss my pants. And if I get boxed in by the fucking drink cart, then I won't be able to get up for another hour. Oh my god! Ah! So finally, I just I like reached over the woman next to me and tapped the woman on the aisle, like, I'm so sorry, I must use the restroom. And she was like so dazed, and she got up, and then I came back. I was so embarrassed. I felt so bad for waking this woman up that I said, I'm never sitting in a window seat again because just in case I have an emergency piss session.
It
So.
was same thing. When I was young, I was always in the window because once you sleep, I don't have to bother anybody. Stay there. But as you go older, of course, you go pee more pee. Yeah, so now I'm an I person, so I don't have to bother.
Isn't that so fucked up that because you get older, you have to pee more? That sucks. I used to be able to hold my pee for like 6 days straight and then just have one long half-hour piss. Nowadays, I go to piss for fucking 12 seconds and I'm like, that's it? Where's the rest, you fuck?
When I was going to Tokyo, the guy sitting next to me, he was in the window. 12 hours. He didn't even go once in the bathroom. Meantime, I went to 4 times.
Yeah, that motherfucker's not real. That's a robot. He's just gonna change his oil after he gets off the flight. That's that guy. That ain't a fucking human. All right, so and then have you ever? This is crazy. I think one time witnessed a couple like go and fuck in the bathroom and come out. Like I think I did. I wasn't 100% sure because they went to the bathroom together. They were there for a while, and then they came out. Have you ever seen or witnessed anybody doing hanky panky on a plane?
I think once, I don't know, but the couple came out from the bathroom once. But
Yeah.
I was guessing, like, what did they do?
Yeah, I mean, I could barely fit in the fucking bathroom by myself. Imagine adding a person in there. Where do you do? I mean, because then how do you do it? Do you have to bend the person over and then you got to like put your leg on the wall? Like that's a lot of fucking technical. Or you sit on the toilet and then the woman
I
sits.
think that's the only way. The guy sit on the toilet, and then girls sit on him. That's the only way because there's no room.
There's no room. It's ridiculous. You can't do it. And then all of a sudden you get your ass in the fucking sink and you get wet. No, no, no. Forget it. You can't do it. I'd rather just have sex in an old fashioned bed and pretend we're flying.
Well,
Role
because
play.
for some people, that's excitement, no? It's not just a public restroom. I mean, in the plane restroom, it's small.
Yeah.
It's vibration, especially when plane goes to air pocket. That's a big band. I mean,
Yuki, I just thought of a business. We should start this business. If we ever have enough capital, we should buy a plane and call it fuck flights. And that way you take people up like swingers who want to go and fuck on the flight. Like you're actually allowed to fucking fuck on the flights. And that way, the different wives and husbands and all kinds of people could swap and fuck on the plane out in the open. And then they could say they reached the Mile High Club without having to do it in the dirty bathroom.
is that illegal? Because when you have a six party, the police raid and then you get arrested, right?
I'm sure there's some places where you're allowed. I mean, how does porn get away with it? There you go. It could be voyeurs who love to fuck on camera. And so you put up the fuck flight, you put all GoPros all around, so you catch all the footage of people fucking, and then you could sell it. You could sell it on online. I bet you somebody did this. I bet you fuck flights is a real thing.
Maybe you should talk to your sponsor, John.
Yeah. So first we need to purchase a G5 airplane.
Right.
That's first. Then we need to plenty of grapes, plenty of wine, plenty of GoPros, a couple of pilots maybe, and a
Yeah.
stewardess. Oh, this would be a fuck flight.
My God. The uniform is the best.
Oh yeah, the uniform. Yeah, no offense to anybody. Yeah, stewardesses are very arousing.
My friend Scott, his father was, I think he worked, those cigarette company, Marlboro or something, and then the Hong Kong office. So when he was kid, teenager or early 20, when he visit the father, every time he goes there, he did that to stewardess. He said Singapore Airline was the best.
Wow, Singapore Airline was the best, really.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, actually, I say Singapore Airline was God. The stewardess was young and then beautiful. Singapore. Old and ugly.
Oh no.
American Air.
Oh no, Yuki, come on, man. I bet you there's some hot, beautiful, mature gilf. You know what a gilf is, Yuki?
Guilford?
Gilf, GILF.
Oh, Guilf.
It's a grandmother I'd like to fuck.
Oh, just like a MILF. A MILF.
A MILF, but with grandchildren. There's some gilfs out there. There might be some gilfs on American Airlines, Yuki.
I know. I mean, it's like, it's always like, equal opportunity. Like, well, you can't fire me because I'm old. So, some grandma working, you know, airlines. Yeah.
They're allowed to make a living.
Well, yes, of course. Yeah. But I rather, see young, beautiful airline than grandma. Actually, when I was going to Tokyo, this airline had the grandma steward. I think she was the chief.
A
And then
chief?
the other
Oh,
chief,
like at the head of the. I see what you mean.
yeah,
Yeah,
head
yeah.
of the stewardess, yeah. So the other stewardess, they look like her grandchildren.
Well, hey, on
Uh,
fuck flights, we'll have all the fetishes. We'll have every kind of stewardess. We'll have the grannies, we'll have the milfs, we'll have the the fucking 20 somethings who would like Yuki. You want me to massage it down? It's fuck flights. What kind of oils would you like for this flight instead of drinks?
Coconut oil.
Is there a better tile? Oh, that's what you like? You like coconut oil?
Yeah, I mean, besides texture is like oily, the coconut oil smells good.
It kind of does smell. I like that. Yeah, man. You know what? We'll rub you down with coconut oil and we'll slide you down the aisle. And then as you go, people can just smack your ass as you pass. That would be amazing. Is there a better title than fuck flights like Ass Airways or Fly the Horny Skies? Like there's got to be a better title than just fuck flights.
Oh.
Uh Suck It Airways. Anyway, so what about what about airports? Like, do you have Clear or any of that like pre-screen stuff? Because I was thinking about getting that to circumvent the long security lines at airports.
Yeah, I mean, like a long time ago, there was no security, there's no shopping mall. But as those terrorist thing going, they start security, and then the security became so pain in the ass. And then, of course, September 11th, soon after, oh my God, security was, pain in the ass. And these days, it's getting better, but still, I don't know, security thing, how accurate that taking the things are.
Who knows? I mean, they found a blunt one time in my it was like it wasn't even a marijuana blunt. I did roll blunts with the stuff, but there was a blunt that was like broken up in my bag, and they found that and was like, "You can't be flying with this." It was like, "It's not marijuana." This was before everything was legal. I was like, "It's
Right.
just a cigar." And she's like, "It doesn't look like a cigar." It's like, all right, what can I do? Are you gonna let me go? And they did let me go, but it's just like they do find things sometimes. One time they took away something that was just a couple of ounces too big. I don't remember how many ounces you're allowed to have. 8 ounces, something like that. It was like 10 ounces. They said no. I said,
Well,
what the
because
fuck?
it's liquid, or even the last year, I got, Matt gave me hot sauce, you
Okay,
know, the last driving hot sauce.
and you couldn't bring it on.
No, I mean, I didn't put in the check-in bag, I had the carry-on bag, and they took it away because, well, you can't have this. This is the liquid.
Oh
I said, well,
shit!
this is a hot sauce. I'm not, this doesn't explode, right? I mean,
And
but
was it
they
sealed? Was it sealed at the top?
sealed, yeah, it says
They
hot
should have
sauce.
let you have it.
I know, but I couldn't, so I have to give up.
Oh, and you know why? Because they wanted to try it. They just were like, "Oh, hot sauce, I'll eat this. Fuck this guy." I think they
I
take a
know. Well, yeah, those guys, they take away. Sometimes they take away because they want it.
not all. We're not disparaging all security guards, but come on, there's probably some security guards out there like yoink, yoink, yoink. What I also don't understand is it always changes the rules for sometimes they're like yelling like take your shoes off, take your belts off, and then other times they're like don't take your laptop out, leave the laptop in. No, then another time take the laptop out. What are you, stupid? They change
Well,
it.
I have to take out the laptop, but I didn't take off the shoes this time.
See? And then they'll yell, I told you not to take your shoes off. And then they'll fucking yell at you. It's like, well, last time I came, I had to take my fucking pants off and fucking do 6 circles before I went through the goddamn machine. Now this time it's like, oh no, leave all your clothes on. What the fuck? Keep the rules the same.
Yeah, that's not consistent, and then every time is different, and then every security guy is different, and then
Yeah. I like the ones who just don't give a fuck. You can tell they're just like, this sucks. Yeah, put them on. Who cares? Just go through. They just so one time I was coming back from New Orleans in the early 2000s. I went to a bachelor party down there, and we had a wild time. Let's just put it that way. And to the point where we had bought all these humongous dildos, and they were really like big, the ones that you see in porno movies. The thing was fucking
right.
like a foot long, and it had a suction cup on the end. I have it somewhere still, and I just thought it was amazing, and I didn't want to throw it out. So I said I'm gonna take this home and use it as a prop, and I've used it 1,000 times since then. But when I got to the airport, I had it in my backpack, which I was carrying on to the flight, and I had checked my other bag. I should have put it in my check baggage, and it was like wedged in between some jeans or something. And I got pulled off to the side as I was going through the security at the airport, and it was an older black lady and a younger black gentleman, and they were both going through my bag together. And the younger black gentleman pulled this humongous suction cup strap on like dildo out. It was like, and he held it up and he looked at the lady and she just fucking closed her eyes and shook her head. They didn't even look at me. They just put it back in, zipped it up, and walked away.
Now,
They let me have it, but they were totally like, this guy's a fucking freak.
this guy can't hijack with this dildo, then, right?
He didn't want that dildo. And he looked at her and she was like, I don't want that shit either.
Now, okay, question is, they stopped you because they knew you had the dildo?
Maybe they put
the dildo?
no, they put it through the X-ray machine, and you know how when they have one that's flagged, it goes off to the side. That's what happened.
But they didn't know that was a dildo. They thought that was maybe big dynamite or something. Then
Yeah, all they saw was this big, long, nebulous blob. I have fucking like old cartoon dynamite with the red with the stick with the. That's what they thought it was. No, man, I just like sorry guys, I had to bring this home, and I apologize that I had to have you look at it.
yeah, once I had the penthouse.
Oh, really? You got stopped for a penthouse?
Yeah, and then I didn't put it the cat. I hold it and then I put it in the bottom of the bag. So the guy was, he didn't look at it. He was putting in his hand and then touching things. And then when he grabbed the bottom, there's some kind of board in the bottom of the bag. So he grabbed that board, and there was some thing under this bottom board. He knew there was a magazine, so he took it out, and then I was removed from the line, and then
Oh.
so I have to give up, and I wrote the paper for just the goddamn penthouse.
Wait, what do you mean write a paper?
Well, I'm giving up this, because it belongs to me, right? Because I bought it. But then I have to sign the paper says, okay, I'm leaving this item to the custom. So I have to okay, because so I can't say they stole my property. So I have to sign the paper.
What the fuck? But what is it illegal to travel with a penthouse magazine?
in Japan.
Oh.
That was about gee, 30 years ago.
I thought you were going like Milwaukee, and they're like, "Yeah, you can't have this here, sir." No, you
Oh, yeah, I mean, in Japan, those pornography is really no-no, so you can't bring them in.
right
The
because you guys
penthouse,
pixelate the pussy and you pixelate the penises, right?
yeah, no, it's illegal. So they took my magazine there. I said, God damn it, bunch of people tonight when they're taking a break, they're reading this magazine
Oh
with
yeah,
every.
they're jerking off like crazy. They're like, I've never seen a pussy before. That's amazing, Yuki. Wow. It's okay. So we both have tried to get pornographic material through a flight. You got caught and I got let go. That's nice.
And then when I was a kid, friend of mine, his father was a custom, you know, officer.
Right.
And then he told me once when he is, they don't check every single person, but they do the really good job. And according to him, he doesn't look at the person he is checking. He always look at behind, 2 person behind, 5 person behind. So when you had an illegal thing, they act weird. That's how they knew. They like, oh, third person from this person, acting weird, looks nervous. That's how they check.
Interesting. Interesting. I
Yeah, that
wonder.
like makes sense. Yeah, I mean, right? I mean, if you're nervous, every time, just like Midnight Express, he was putting in the hashish or something, and then his body, and then he was sweating, and then before the line, that's how they see it.
Oh yeah. That's a hell of a movie, Yuki. I forgot all about that movie, written by Oliver Stone.
Right.
Yeah, Midnight Express. That's the suggestion for the week. Thanks, Yuki. Good idea.
That's a good movie, actually. And then based on true story, right?
That's right. And there's some harrowing shit in that movie, but it's one of those movies that's worth it to watch, even though it's tough to watch at parts. So, all right, any other like weird stories about the airport or flying that you could think of?
I had the really scary experience. I was, I think, from Chicago to New York. We took off. I'm not the, engineer, or I'm not the, expert, but, if you travel a lot, you know how plane vibrate. You just know it, right?
Yeah.
When this plane took off, there was a weird vibration. Like I never felt that. I said, oh no, this doesn't feel good. Less than 5 minutes, there is an announcement. There is some mechanical problem, and then we have to go back to Chicago airport. So we came back, and then we landed, but we didn't go to the terminal. Middle of the runway, and then we came out from the plane. Oh my God, the both sides. It's not the red fire engine. It's like a yellow one. Those chemical fire engine. About the 50 of them, both sides landed, and then so plane was that bad. They are preparing for crash. Holy, then I was like, holy shit! I never had this experience. So that was like a really bad enough.
Jesus Christ, I would have cried my brains out. I would have been so fucking scared.
Yeah, but at least it wasn't in the air, so I could get heart attack or stroke then. I mean, if I knew that bad, and then only I knew was some weird vibration. That's only I felt.
That's yeah, that's the worst. I mean, this one time, me and my brother were coming back from LA to New York for the holidays. We both lived out there. And the fucking turbulence 2 hours straight, and it was the worst I ever felt. It was like up and down, like fucking shaking. I was like hugging myself. I was like, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die. This was the fucked up part, is that while it was happening, some guy who must have been used to flying or didn't give a fuck about turbulence pulled out like a lamb shank dinner that he had brought from some fucking fancy restaurant. It was wrapped in tin foil, and somehow he got it on the plane. And he opened it up, and when he opened it up, that lamb shank smelled so fucking bad. We were in this closed quarter, shaking, and lamb shanks fucking smelling in my nostrils. And my brother Sirius was like, I'm gonna break this fucking guy's head for bringing the lamb shank on a fucking flight during turbulence.
Now, was he eating?
He was eating. The guy was fucking eating his lamb shank there. He's like, the turbulence ain't nothing, you pussies. And we're sitting there. I'm praying to fucking God. I'm praying to Allah. I'm praying to all the gods. I'm praying to the Indian ones. Just
Why
like,
is he in that kind of condition? What his mentality was?
he might have just been like a fucking frequent flyer who was like, yeah, this is nothing. This is bullshit. I'm eating my dinner. That was fucked up. And then finally the shit stopped, and we kind of just like had a smooth sailing after a cut. But it was seriously was. I think we were going over the Rockies or something. That's why it was so fucked
Oh,
up. And it was
I
two
never had that
hours.
experience. So, how about have you ever experienced it? The oxygen mask came down?
No,
Never.
have you?
No, never.
Yeah, okay.
So,
I would freak out.
yeah, I will freak out. So maybe just the turbulence isn't that bad then. I mean, we never seen the oxygen mask, so.
Well, that's true, but seriously, it was like the worst turbulence I ever felt because it was bouncing. It was like up and down, left and right. It was like and it was like the kind of turbulence where you could hear the plane sort of creaking. You know, you hear like the seats going, you know, that kind of stuff. So that's why it was fucked up. Have you ever farted on a plane, Yuki?
Yeah, many times.
Do you pretend, or like, what's your mentality when you do it? Because I also have farted many times on a plane, Yuki, and when I do it, I pretend it's somebody else.
Yeah, that's only you can do. I mean, when you gotta do, you gotta do. I mean, right?
Yes, yeah, you absolutely. I mean, it sucks because you're in close quarters, and you know, I don't want to be smelling somebody else's asshole, but it also hurts to keep it in, so you got to let it go sometimes.
Except this time, you never happened when I was in the bathroom. I mean, you lock it so you see the red, right?
Yeah,
So nobody, I mean, everybody knows if it's red, somebody in it. This time, okay, I've been traveling 40 years, and then this is really first time. I was in the bathroom on my way back to New York this time, just last week. Okay, first I pee, right?
yeah.
And then after I finished it, I said, "Oh, gee, maybe I should do number two because in case I went to do, I didn't want to wake up the guy because I wasn't the aisle this time. I was inside, so
Right.
I didn't want to, bother the next, person sitting next to me. So after I peed, I said, "Oh, maybe I should poop." I flushed my pee. Then I think about my second thought. Yeah, I should do number two. So all over again, I flipped the top. I put the sheet paper. I was sitting, and then suddenly, knock, knock, knock. I said, "What the fuck? It's red." I mean, why people knocking? Because can't you see the red? Are you colorblind or what?
Well, because they probably heard you making noises while you were doing number two, like and then they thought you were like having a Mile High Club all by yourself. Yuki's
Maybe
solo club.
my guess was since she heard I flashed once, and then what this guy is doing? Why he takes this long just to wash the hand?
But who you think knocked? The stewardess?
No, and then
Oh,
I finished my business. I opened it. This lady was standing, like I almost like, well, can't you see? I'm still in the bathroom, but I didn't say anything.
you know what though? The best payback. I mean, if she was being rude about it, She goes into that bathroom and she's got to smell your essence, the
That's
essence
right.
of
So,
Yuki.
yeah, she did probably. No, okay. Maybe that's why he took so long. But still, she heard I flushed once because I did, pee first.
Right, right,
That's
right.
why he thought like this guy flushed already. Why he takes so long to come out? He shouldn't be, taking this long to wash the hand. Is he smoking? Is he jogging off?
Yep.
So I was doing something after the, fast flash. I think that's why she knocked. Like, hey, come
Oh,
on.
you're allowed to do whatever you want in that bathroom. Fuck it. Who
Right?
cares?
It's
Yeah,
my
fuck it.
right.
It's your
And then
right.
plus, I didn't do anything. I just changed my mind. I wanted to number two after number one.
Nothing like a surprise sit down in a fucking airplane to take a shit. I never shit in an airplane ever, and I'm lucky because
Really?
yeah, luckily.
Well, maybe you should try. It's really tight, small. Oh my God, it's so difficult to do. But
So why would I? I don't want to do that. I like having room when I shit. Like if I could shit in a fucking, you put like a toilet in the middle of a basketball court in a big gymnasium and nobody's around. I would love that. Would be great. You have room to maneuver. You could do a little hand gestures. It's great. I don't want to be cramped in a fucking bathroom. That sucks.
I know it's, but when you want to do it, I mean, you know what? It's better than shit in your
Oh
pants.
no, yeah. If you have to, trust me. If I had to, I would absolutely have no shame shitting. I would shit all over the fucking toilet seat and not even clean it up. That's how fucking much I think that I have a right to shit anywhere I want. No, I wouldn't do that. That's fucked up. One time, Yuki, I was sitting on the airplane and I had such bad gas. I mean, I'm talking bad gas. And I was farting like every 5 minutes or more. I was just fucking farting, and I'm sure it smelled so. And then I heard behind me people were like talking about the farts. They're
Uh,
talking, and especially one lady's like, "Oh my god, that smells so bad!" ah." And then at one point, I just couldn't help it though because it hurt when I kept it in. Finally, she fucking went to her overhead, took out perfume and started spraying it in the air.
that's basically you were sick, you were ill. So,
I was.
there's nothing you can do about it. I
But I
mean,
didn't want to raise my hand and be like, sorry. So I just kept keeping silent. I think they kind of narrowed it down to who it was because I just kind of sat there watching whatever Gilligan's Island, farting my brains out, just staring at the TV and not reacting.
but a good thing, you didn't shit in your pants, so it's better than just fine.
Exactly. Any other stories, Yuki, or ideas or thoughts about airports or flying?
How about the mileage thing? I mean, is it the airline still doing the mileage?
Yeah, I actually had a big fight not too long ago when they fucking Delta fucked up so bad that not only did they delay us like 3 hours, then all of a sudden they like reset the whole system and I had the seat that I wanted. They reset the whole system and then put me in the last row in the middle, the
Oh,
last fucking row in the middle, and now I'm a big guy, and trust me, nobody wants to me in the middle fucking seat. I don't want to be in the middle seat. And the fact that I had booked my seat months in advance, like I seriously, when I got the thing, 2 months, I get my seat. So I was arguing with Delta customer service the whole flight. I was just like, "This is unacceptable. I'm in the middle seat. The people next to me are unhappy. This is a fucking." So I got like 10,000 miles out of it.
sometimes it's nice to complain, though. Yeah, they might. One time, well, that was a long time ago. I delayed. I complained about something. Hey, I was late for the work and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
They gave me free ticket. So yeah.
Yeah. See, because the reason why usually I don't complain when it's like a minor inconvenience. This one, they were like, okay, so what we're gonna do here is we're overpacked, right? The flight was oversold. So then they said, is anybody want to volunteer to take a later flight and we'll give you a $500 Amazon card and a flight. And I said, great, I'll fucking do that. So I did that. And then instead of being rewarded for stepping up and doing the right thing and helping, I got the fucking middle back seat and they were like, oh no, we're not going to put you on the next flight. We're going to put you on this flight. So I was like, that was a hoodwink. That was a fucking, you just tricked me. And then the woman on customer service kept saying, I know that you want that $500 Amazon gift card. And I was like, you're making this about me being greedy, but you guys actually fucked me over in such a big way. I don't even give a fuck about the Amazon card now. I just want something out of this cocksucking situation. I know I'm a Karen, but seriously, it was bullshit. It was bullshit. But I'll still fly Delta because I like them.
Yeah. But compared to, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, I think airline, it's getting kind of shitty. Like, need getting worse.
They don't even give you a meal anymore. They give you fucking 4 almonds and a Coke.
Right, yeah. And then that was a couple of years ago. I took a cheap air, like the Zip Air. It's not cheap because you have to buy seat, you have to buy movie, you have to buy drink, food. Adds up. I
Yep.
say, well, I rather pay normal price and get the normal, decent service instead of I have to ask everything and pay. That's bullshit. So it's not cheap. I'm telling you, Zip Airline sucks.
That's right. And that's our episode with airports and flying. It's good to have you back, Yuki.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Awesome. So we just want to thank all of our patrons and all of our listeners. And, we have such a beautiful community here. Actually, our listens for the podcast buffet are growing, Yuki.
Really?
Yeah, they're growing. They're starting to build. And because we used to get a certain amount, and then we put out a couple of episodes that really did very well and were spread around. And then we've retained the numbers to now we're on a higher tier of listeners. So we want to thank everybody for tuning in every week. And yeah, thank you.
I luau at Central Park.
That's right. One of these days we'll do this mysterious luau in Central Park, and Yuki will be running around with his Penthouse magazine that he got back from Japan and showing everybody. All right, we thank you. We're going to talk to you guys next time at the buffet.
John and Yuki.
Yuki and John's Patreon buffet.